Hello everyone, let's talk about another easy problem on Leetcode today. Sort the people, Leetcode 2418. In this problem, we are given an array of strings, names, and array of heights that consist of distinct positive integers. Both arrays are of length n. Then for each index I, names I and height I denote the name and height of the ith person. Then we have to return the names sorted in descending order by the people's height. Then they have given some examples. In example 1, we can see that names are Mary, John, and Emma, and heights are 180, 165, 170. So when we sort the heights in descending order, it will be 180, 170, and 165. And the corresponding names are Mary. For 170, it is Emma. And then for 165, it is John. So the output should be the list of names. So it is Mary, Emma, and John. Now let's see how we can actually solve this problem. Now, if we sort the heights, say in descending order, we lose a track of names because these are two separate arrays. So how about we actually club these heights and names array, like creating a pair? Like in this example, we can see that 180 maps to Mary, 170 maps to Emma, 165 maps to John. So once we do that, we can actually sort these people by height. So this question boils down to what are some of the pairing techniques we can use. And in this problem, it is given that height consists of positive distinct integers. So we can create a hash map of height as key and name as value. And then we can sort the map by key. Another way can be that we can use a tree map of height and name where keys are already sorted in descending order. And if we are okay to use our own class, then we can also create our own people class with name and height in it, and then use the comparator to actually sort these values. Now let's see them one by one. So let's look at the hash map based solution. So what we can do is we can actually create a map of height and names. Like an example, one map can be 180 to Mary, 165 to John, 170 to Emma. Now we sort the arrays in ascending order. So we already have stored the mapping between the height and name. So even if we sort the heights array, now there should not be any issue. But note that we require the names sorted in the descending order of height. So then why I'm sorting it in the ascending order? And the reason is nothing to do with any algorithm here, but it's about the programming language. In Java, it is not that straightforward to sort the array of primitives in a descending order. For that, I have to first convert this array into array of wrapper class, in this case, integer class, and then use, for example, collections.reverse order to sort the array in descending order. So I'm just avoiding this hassle, and we will see how we will actually fill the answer array in the descending order. And once we do that, now we have to just create our answer, and the answer is our names, right? And it should be of names.length. Now we loop over the heights array from the end so that we get the values in the descending order and start filling in the answer. So for answer, we can define our own index value, which will be initially equal to 0. We will get the name for the ith height, which we are getting from the heights array, and increment the index. And once we do that, we can just return our answer. Now let's run this code. There's some issue with, it should be heights I, not height I. Similarly, I should do map.get heights I. Yeah, my bad. So let's run this code again. Cool. Let's submit this code as well. In terms of time complexity, it is O of n log n, where n is the number of people. And the reason for this is like when we are creating the map, that takes O of n time. And when we are actually sorting the heights array, that takes O of n log n, because we are using comparison-based sort in Java. And then filling in the answer again takes O of n time. So overall time complexity will be O of n log n. And in terms of space complexity, it will be O of n, because we are using the hash map to store the mapping between the heights and names. Another way can be that actually we can use a tree map, because the keys in tree map are already sorted. So we don't have to explicitly sort the array here. And we should use a comparator here. So we can use collections.reverse order because we want the height in the reverse order. Now start iterating on the key set rather than on the heights array. So we can now loop over the maps key set. And once we do that, then we have to just do map.get height and increment our index. Now let's run this code again. Awesome. Now let's submit this code. Cool. In terms of time complexity, it is O of n log n again. And the reason for this is adding a single element to tree map takes log n time. and we are iterating over the n elements. So that takes O of n log n time. And in terms of space complexity, it is O of n because we are storing these n people's height to name mapping in the tree map. And last approach I want to share is like we can actually create our own class. We don't need these data structures like hash map or tree map. If interviewer is fine with it, then I prefer that approach because that actually increases the code readability a lot. So let's define our own person class with two properties in it, name and height, right? And then we can just define the constructor and it will take two things in it, name and height. And once we do that, we don't have to use any map or anything and instead use the array of persons. And we can create it for length n. And instead of doing map.put, we can actually instantiate the person object at the ith position in the array. And now we can sort the people array in descending order. And sorting the objects in descending order is easy in Java. We can just take two people A and B. Because we have to sort it in the descending order, we will do p.height minus a.height. Now our array is sorted and we can again keep the answer as same. And now we can loop over the people array to fill in the answer. And we will just say answer I is equal to people I dot name. That's it. And we can just return the answer. So you see the code readability has improved a bit compared to the map solution. And this way we can also showcase our object-oriented design skills to the interviewer. Of course, if interviewer is fine with it. Now let's run this code. Now there is some issue. It says cannot find people symbol. It should be person class. Let's run the code again. I should pass the name and height in the correct order in the constructor. Hopefully this time it works. Awesome. Let's submit this code. Cool. The time complexity is again O of n log n because we are actually instantiating the people array that takes O of n time, and then sorting the people array by height takes O of n log n time because we use comparison based sort. And finally filling in the answer again takes O of n time. So that takes overall time complexity to O of n log n. And in terms of space complexity, it is O of n because we are creating this people array and that takes O of n space. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. The solution link is in the video description. Have a nice time. Thank you.